Well, turning now to politics, retiring Republican Senator Bob Corker spent the weekend lobbing, Twitter insults at the president. The Tennessee lawmaker said Sunday the president is, in his opinion, running a reality show and could send the nation on the path to World War III. A little hyperbole gripping the senator, and for whatever reason. On Saturday, Senator Corker also called the White House an adult daycare center. The president summed up the situation this way, tweeting, "Bob Corker gave us the Iran deal, and that's about it. We need health care, we need tax cuts and reform. We need people who can get the job done." Joining us now, Ed Rollins, chairman of the Great America PAC, who served at the top level of 2 White House administrations as assistant to the president. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Bob Corker, what in the world is he doing?
Well, the unfortunate thing is Bob Corker's there for 2 more years. He's determined not to run for re-election, which is certainly his prerogative. But if he's going to become the in-house critic as chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, it's just a big platform for him to basically dump on the president, and I think it's just outrageous.
We got to be clear. The reason he's going to be there is because of Mitch McConnell.
Absolutely. So,
and McConnell could end this nonsense.
That's the point.
Right
That was the point I was going to make.
Oops,
the conference needs to basically bring him in. You can argue, you can disagree on votes, but you can't have a major chairman of your own party criticizing the president on his foreign policy and anything else.
And he looks so small, so insulting and petty, and I mean, a crack about a daycare center, World War III. I mean, he looks moronic.
Well, no one tweets quite like the president, so the rest of them shouldn't try.
I think that's well said. Let's turn to the 70 points for immigration reform. The president laying this out for DACA. Now, DACA, as I said earlier, we know it's illegal, it's unconstitutional, and yet here it is. The president has proffered an opportunity for the left to save DACA.
Well, DACA shouldn't be the only negotiating point here. The interesting thing is last time was when one of those White Houses in 1986 was the last immigration bill that's been passed in this country. Both Obama and George W. Bush, with majorities of their own party, tried to do comprehensive immigration, couldn't get it through. I think at this point in time, you have to understand there's a give and take in this. If Schumer and those guys want something, then obviously the president's going to get what he wants. So these 70 points are the beginning points from his perspective. Obviously, it's not him sitting down in the corner office and writing this out. These are things that people in the field feel is very, very important to do this. This needs we need one more big comprehensive program. We should do it well, and it's going to take time to put it together. And that means
I think the idea of a comprehensive program, every time the left has, and of course business interests on the extreme right, have cried out for comprehensive immigration. It becomes a catch-all for every kind of nonsense except getting to the point which is we need to secure our borders, we need to control immigration, we need to end, and the list goes on, those 70 points in addition. But to have any discussion about immigration reform without the ability to control immigration is madness.
Well, your point is so valid because every single kid here under DACA, or young adult, came in after the '86 bill. There's nobody who was here before.
Right.
You had 2.5 million people out of a possibility of 5 who could come in and took advantage of it, but they didn't do the security side. And I think to a certain extent, and they just sort of dismissed it over time.
And this is such a compelling demagogued issue. But the fact is, those 800,000 DACA enrollees, most of them, the vast majority of them, over 70%, are on welfare of one form or another. And people have to be honest about what's going on here. We've got to take control of that immigration system, as the president campaigned on, and reward talent and skills that are needed in this country.
Well, he tapped into the mood of the country, which was basically an anti-immigration, anti-illegal immigration sentiment, and I think it wasn't something he just made up out of the top of his head. So I think to a certain extent, if you're going to put this through, it's not what Chuck Schumer wants or Nancy Pelosi wants.
That's a shame.
It's basically what the country wants.
Yeah, I imagine that. What the country needs, as the president has outlined it,
right?
Not what Schumer and Pelosi want, or it's ridiculous how much this discussion already resembles 2006.
Absolutely, no question about that.
Ed Rollins, as always.
My
Good
pleasure.
to have you here.
Thank you very much.